developing the inaugural NUJ series on science, technology, and law, reflecting his dedication to achieving legal scholarship at the intersection of science and technology. Before moving into academia, Mr. Satyadeo gained valuable industry experience as legal counsel at Spark Cars, where he built a solid foundation in corporate legal advisory and compliance. Currently, he is actively engaged in research with ongoing publications in reputed journals, focusing on contemporary issues in law and technology. So, with so much going on and such huge amount of achievement, we are truly lucky that Sir here has agreed to impart his valuable knowledge that he has gained over such a long time, his industry learnings and everything that he has learned throughout his LLM and working in other spaces. Publicizing journals, he has agreed to share this invaluable knowledge with all of us, the students of department. And I, on behalf of all the students and JSC, and on behalf of Department of Law, would like to thank you and truly acknowledge from the bottom of our heart how grateful we are that today you have joined us to give us and impart your valuable knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. I don't think you're audible. I can't hear him. Can anybody else say whether he's audible or not? I can't hear him, so not audible. Right. So would you like to log out and join again?
Yes, sir, you indeed are visible. We request everyone to kindly be patient for a few minutes. Like our speaker is facing certain technical difficulties. We will be starting pretty soon. Thank you, everyone.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I am audible. Also, let me share my screen with you. Yeah, so the screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, perfect. So, little apologies for this technical glitch. Okay. Also, thanks a lot, Selena, for this wonderful introduction. And I would like to also thank the University of Calcutta and the Journal and Seminar Committee. And a special thank to Selena because she has arranged all of this and she's the person behind, this kind of arrangement so that a good number of you, close to 60, 65, as I can see in my screen, are here to witness this kind of workshop. So that is a good thing. Initially, when we were talking about this, Selena was very skeptical about the turnout, but I think it's a good number. Also, so it's been a long day for me because I have taken, close to 4 lectures today. But yeah, that is the life of an academic, and I am thankful to you guys because you are here for the legal research and academic writing workshop. And I'll make sure that after doing this workshop, you will be in a certain spot where you'll be differentiated from the crowd. You will have certain skills with you, which is required to write a good research article and get it published. So yes, so without a further ado, we can start. Yeah. So the agenda for today's workshop is we will be looking at what is this research article basically is, how you will approach it. Then we will look at the structural synopsis of it as to what are the certain structural framework on which you have to do your particular research. Then we will look at the referencing as to, because this is being heavily talked about. You can see a lot of maybe workshops in Oscala, Blue Book, APA, ILI, this and that. So we'll see how important is it for us to know about certain nuances of these citations, and see what the references and references. There's one more important thing, that is the sources. So which source we should be using, we should be incorporating in our legal research and research articles, so that it will increase the probability of a research paper getting published in a good journal. And then later, I will walk you through a presentation of mine so that it will give you an idea of how you should be creating an impactful presentation that can persuade the members of the panel if you're going and showcasing your work which you have done, whatever you have researched. So yeah. So there are certain skills which is required before you start any kind of inquiry in research of any domain, and that is first is honesty. So what is honesty? Basically, after attending this workshop, you will be all pumped up as to I will research on this particular area, but it's not a matter of a week or two. You have to engage with that particular research title and research domain for close to a month or two if you are doing some credible work. So you have to be honest with yourself as to what you are researching on. You will be investing your time. Also, you have to have courage, because I will be telling you about the categories of journals: UGC Care, basic journals, Scopus journals. So sometimes it takes a lot of time to articulate your thoughts and put it in words and come up with a good research paper. Then you have to send it to a journal. Then it will take time, because the editor and their committee will look at, scrutinize your particular research. So it will take a lot of time. So you have to have courage to invest that much time and then look for the better side which is there. Also, there is this wit and eloquence. So basically, wit, what does it mean is you have to put in a lot of humor in your paper, because just a plain writing of it is not going to give you an edge. You have to be eloquent. You have to have certain ways of expression which is not used in common parlance. So that is regarding wit and eloquence. Now, I'm telling you, it is not a delightful read, or you will be easily walking in a. There's a difference between walking in proper structured infrastructure roads, and there's a difference between walking in forest. So I'm telling you that research and article writing is a kind of industry. It's not that you will go there and some thoughts will come to your mind and you will write something and if you will be done with it. No, there are certain proper rules, there are certain proper guidelines which needs to be followed. If you are writing introduction, if you are doing review of literature, if you are writing the body, and if you are writing conclusion, abstract, title. So that is an industry. There are certain rules. If you follow it, you will be able to complete your research and come up with a good paper and the set guidelines. Now you have to make certain judgments when you write a research article. You have to think of which source is good for you, which source is not good for you, which paragraph you should extract from a particular source, which chapters you should include. So that judgment you have to make. And at the end, it is all about fellowship. That is brotherhood. So whenever you start a research, you should take that word to the entire community or the entire fraternity, at least to your friends, so that if someone has certain opinions, certain suggestions in that particular regard, they will maybe help you in that. So always be open to suggestions. I'm not telling you to incorporate all of that in your research, but you should always take the advice from your friends, from colleagues, and we all are here to help you. So you can approach us whenever you want. So yeah. Now, the thing is, what is a research article? So basically, research article is an article, is a kind of a journal article. It's a kind of academic writing which tests your analysis, your interpretation, your argument based on your in-depth interpretation or independent research. So the moment we say that, okay, it is a journal article, then this thing strikes our mind as to there are articles in newspaper as well. So how a newspaper article is differentiated from a journal article? What is this journal? And if we are talking about research article, what is basically research? So for that, we need to know what is a journal. So a journal is basically a scholarly publication containing articles written by the researchers like you. You will be writing your research article, so you have to publish a set of articles that will be published in a particular journal. Now the thing is, there are three specific categories of journals. So one is the journal which you can see on your left side of the screen. That is your International Journal for Legal Research and Analysis. That is one category of journal. There is this other category, UGC Care listed journals. So a lot of national law universities, even the private universities, have their journals listed in UGC Care. So I have given you this particular screenshot of National Law School of Bangalore, and then there are Scopus journals. So what is this Scopus journal? Is there any hierarchy? Yes. So these three journals are situated there in a category of higher pedestrian to lower pedestrian. So a Scopus journal, basically Scopus is a database which is being run by a company Elsevier, has a headquarter in New York, and it will only take those research articles which are of best quality. So the committee, so the people, the team who are sitting there for scrutinizing the articles are of top-notch class. So if your paper is published in a Scopus journal, then you have established yourself as an authority in that particular domain, and it will be difficult for others to argue with you. No one's going to argue with you if you have a Scopus publication. Then comes the UGC care. Yes, the certain nuances and certain technicalities are relaxed. You can publish your paper in UGC. It takes a lot of time. And there comes these journals. There are a lot of journals like this, and we will see there is this growing area of fake journals and duplicate journals. So yes, you can publish. I'm not saying that you cannot publish your article in this journal. You can publish your article in this journal, but the moment you come and imagine you become an academician and you go and talk, you are giving an interview to a top class industry, then they will not recognize these kind of journals. They will only recognize UGC Care and Scopus. So these are the three categories of journals. Now, if you look at, so basically what is happening is there are certain, because so after taking this particular workshop, you will all be pumped up to writing research papers, and you will be, looking at searching for certain journals. So let me remind you, because this is very important. Uh, there are certain journals which are, which demand money, some sort of processing fee. So these are deceptive publishing. Do not fall prey to this kind of industry, because this is a money making industry, and research has shown that wherever the developing country is going through a good phase of its good phase, then there are a lot of people who will be researching on particular areas, who will be ready to publish that thing, and then 65% of the articles, if you look at the publishing journal, does not go into the citation thing. So that's why what I will suggest is, whenever you are going to submit your article in a particular journal, first you look for UGC Care. I have incorporated the link in the slide that you go and look for whether it is UGC Care. You can also write in Scopus. So just to check for whether that particular journal is authentic or not. So that is very important. Yes. So there are certain matrices also. If you want to check that whether a particular journal is authentic or not, so you can go for, there is a lot of information that will be there, but which will be not be, very transparent, and which will not be very authentic. Also, these journals generally charges fee for processing fee, and they will publish your article in a day or maybe overnight. So you'll feel that sometimes, that's why you have to have courage. The moment we think of, getting the low hanging fruits as to let's get our journal published in this article published in this journal, because instantly we will get that particular thing reflected in our CV. No, it is a very demanding task, and you have to invest certain time in this particular venture of yours. So also there are certain things also that they will say that we are Google Scholar. We will publish your journal in Google Scholar. There is no such requirement. Google is an open source. Whatever we publish, it will be there in the Google Scholar. There are only two sites. First is the WOS, World Web of Science Index, and there is other the Scopus Index. It's not something like Google Scholar Index. No, nothing like that. So this is an industry, it is booming, I'm telling you, such as like we call it gold open access model of these companies to, get mint money out of the intellectual property of yours, which you do not want to just let it go like that. So yes, having said that, I'll start with what is research. So according to me, research is like, peeling an onion. So there are certain layers, certain hard layers, and you have to, if you want to go to the in-depth core and fulcrum tender layer of the research of the issue, then you have to work a lot. You have to work through your way through these layers. And I'm pretty sure that can bring certain tears for sure to you. So be prepared for that because whenever we are engaged in, because I have spent 1 year preparing for my dissertation in my post graduation, and it's a tough journey, but yes, it's worth walking and it's worth taking, I feel. So that is there. Now the thing is how this research journal is different from a newspaper article, by the way. So if you look at it, newspaper articles, the target audience is different. So the target audience is who? Maybe any layman reader. So I will caution you to be mindful of this fact that whenever you are writing a research article, never enter into sensational journalism, please. Please do not do that. You are a law graduate. We are doing here, we are contributing something to the scholarly discourse which is related to legal principles. So that's why the target audience is different. Here, if you put your research article published in a particular journal, then the people who will be reading your research article will be all from legal fraternity. So be mindful of that. Now, yes, so that is all about research. So now we know research is like that. Now, what is research article? So the thing is, I had the opportunity to meet certain professors of Australia when I was in NUJ. So there was this Professor Marcus Wegner. We were sitting and we were talking. So he was talking about a very senior professor from Australia, Professor Gary. He's an established person. He used to send a lot of research articles to different journals. The thing is, Cambridge University was not accepting his journals. So after a repeated inquiry and repeated application, he's like, every other Harvard is accepting. Why Cambridge is not accepting? So back then, the chief editor of that particular journal, Cambridge University, gave him some guidance as to what a research article is. So he told that the research article is basically, what is the purpose is? The purpose is to advance the scholarly research in this particular field. And what it requires, it is an argument. It is an argument which is based on the principle or policy. And you have to integrate and present it in such a way so that it will be related to the relevant details of law. So the details of law has to be there, a principle or policy has to be there, in which your argument has to be based. So that's why you should, whenever you search and whenever you go and you research on certain thing, it will definitely, you will be engaging in certain scholarly literature that are our resources, which will be looking at the later slide. So that is the thing. So what you have to do is you have to look at the existing sources which are there, and on the top of that you have to build your understanding and certain synthesis. So yes. So now we have talked about, okay, this is an argument, and I am well aware that you are there situated in Kolkata. So you must be also doing internships and courts and all. So what kind of argument is it, by the way? So this argument is something you call it a deductive reasoning. So you must have done your syllogisms where you draw certain circles and a certain problem principle has been given to us. Okay, these are oranges and these oranges are not apples, and those apples are not red, and these apples are black, and this and that. So that's why all the information is there. in front of you. All you have to do is take those information and deduce something out of it. That is your task as a researcher. Because let me mind you that you are all from first year, second year, third year, or let's say fourth year, fifth year as well. Even I sitting on this side of the table. The thing is, we are not that established personality where we can opine on something. Because I will tell you in the later slides what does it take to create something. So according to whatever position you are in, you are only capable of doing what? Reading certain sources and deducing something out of it. So do not fall for creating something very novel, very something which will change the society. No, you do not have that capacity right now. What do you know of it? What do you know of that particular legal sphere? It takes at least 15, 20 years to opine something, to write at least 4 or 5 paragraphs on something which will be of certain relevance. So then why are you saying, sir, that this is, this is an argument? This is an argument because the thing is, what we are talking about is the chain of thoughts, the linking behind those chains. So maybe imagine your research article is of, let's say, 20 paragraphs, right? So if I may ask any one of you that what you have written in your research project in first year, it will be, when I look back at my projects, what I have written in first year, it is like, if you are writing about dowry, you will write 2 pages of what is dowry. Then you will do something, okay, certain landmark judgments of dowry. And then you will look at certain other things and conclude. So 25 pages, which is not saying anything. But here, the 20 paragraphs has to be articulated and structured in such a way that it has to have that cogent link. It has to have that coherence. So every paragraph will start with an argument. You start with a certain particular proposition which you are making, which is definitely not unproven. And then you will write 3 sentences in that particular paragraph, which shows that, okay, you are referencing on certain resources, and that's why you are giving your evidence, just like in court of law. And then you will end the particular paragraph with a conclusion. Maybe that can be your synthesis, maybe that can be your observation, maybe you will agree with that particular proposition or maybe not. And the other paragraphs, you can chain it accordingly. So that when the team who is sitting there, comprising of chief editor, research associate, when they read your particular research article, there should not be any friction in their brain as to why these 2 paragraphs are not making sense. Why you have put in that particular paragraph in between. So it has to have that cogence, it has to have that link in them. Okay. So why I said that, so this is, maybe some of you might have heard of it, this Bloom's taxonomy of so what it takes to create something. So only 0.1% of us has the capacity to create something. Others, you see, at first you have to remember, then you have to understand that particular thing, then you have to apply those things into certain areas. After that, you can only analyze. And we can so easily write the title as to comparative analysis, critical analysis, this analysis, I am analyzing this. No. Words infer certain meanings to it. So if you are analyzing, that means you are saying that you know everything, you understand it, and you have applied it. And after analyzing comes the evaluation, and then you are in a position to create. So, sir, then you are saying that we have to, enter into this area of research and we cannot create. So, what will we do? That is a good question. What will we do? So, we will do is we will stand on the shoulder of the giant. That we will do. If you look at what Einstein has said, what Isaac Newton has said. So Isaac Newton, because whatever theory of relativity and whatever theory of gravity, whatever he has invented, he said that if I have seen further, it is by the standing on the shoulder of the giant. and you do not have to stand because there are no giants here. What are the giants then? So basically, this is a Greek mythology, and I have used it to tell you that there are certain research articles which are established on that particular domain. So you have to go through those research articles, extract certain things out of that, incorporate them in the research article, and then you will create something. You will synthesize something. Whatever you synthesize will be only 2% research article, maybe 2%, 3%, or 4%. Rest of the article will be all the resources which you have extracted from good journals written by giants, maybe by Professor Lawrence Lessig, maybe by big established people from the industry. If you are doing in constitutional law, Arvind Datar sir and like a lot of big people who have established their names. So that is just a metaphor. Now, okay, so you are saying that we will get all that sources. Then what will we do? So we will synthesize certain things. And what is this synthesis? So basically, what I have given you, I have told you that okay, this is like peeling an onion. How will I get to know? How will get to to that particular analogy? Because when I came to Hyderabad, I recently came here, and I am investing at least 1 hour a day in cooking. So I am trying this particular art, and there is like continuously I'm chopping the onion every day. So that's why that observatory, that inquisitive mind has to be there. So if you are imagine you are doing an empirical work. So if you look at the pond or maybe a lake, and if you see someone fishing, without sitting there and without doing that fishing particular practice, will you be able to know that how, like, what is the weight of the particular fish who are there in one side of the pond? No, you do not know. You have to do that. You have to enter into that particular practice. So that's why we take that analogy in, when we test the hypothesis. So maybe you can sit there and without doing anything, you can make a guess as to, okay, where the fishes might be there or not. But the moment you enter into that practice, maybe you will catch maybe 5 fishes, 6 fishes, 7 fishes. Then you will realize that, okay, here there is a probability of these number of fishes. That is your sample data, that is your sample size. So that's all observation you have to do particular society, and then you synthesize it and incorporate into your research paper. That is your part, because you will be investing your 1 month, 2 months into particular area, and then you are also, you cannot be being there in that domain. You will go out, you will have your classes, you will attend workshops, you will do internships. There you always back of your mind there will be this one thing, okay, I am working on this project, and what all I can use, collect from whatever I am being exposed to. So that is the importance of synthesis, and that is still reminding you that is only 1%, 2%, 3%, or 4% of the research paper. Now coming to what the template is. So these are, I call it the pigeonholes, because you must have learned in your taught lectures about the theory of pigeonhole given by Salman regarding whether it is a law of tort or whether it is law of torts, whether there are certain actions which can be put into particular category, then only they will be called as a tort. Or there are any actions, and this is this very gray area where a lot of tangents can be drawn and call these actions as torts. The same way, a research article has certain framework, and you have to just fill this framework. You see, it has to start with title, your name definitely, what within from which institution you are affiliated to, in what capacity, in what position. There's this abstract, then keywords, then introduction. And you go, and after this workshop, you see the first research article, maybe a research project you have written in your first year, and how you have written the introduction. And you test it with all these checkboxes which I am giving it to you, that whether all the checkboxes are ticked or not. And then only you will realize that. And let me give you an insider information. Okay, imagine I am the editor of a particular journal, and I have 100 or 200 research articles with me, and I have to publish, let's say, 14 out of them on a research particular journal. Now the thing is, if I will read what first, maybe the introduction, I will check whether whatever you have cited, the authorities and everything. If I do not feel that this introduction is persuasive enough and is not, because I've told you this is an industry, all these things has to be there. If I feel that this introduction does not fall into the category of, you have not incorporated all these things, I will not invest that much time in your research article. Maybe I will outrightly reject it. Maybe. The chances. So that's why your introduction should start with a statement of significance, and I will tell you what is this statement of significance. And it has to have a research objective. Then it has to have certain dense narrative as to what research gap you have found in a particular domain. Then what are your research questions? These has to be all in the introduction only. It's not like you are, because you are writing a research article, right? So what will you be doing? It's not like you are writing an introduction and you are writing review of literature, then you are writing research questions, hypothesis. No, no, no. It has to be all subsumed in your introduction in maybe one sentence, two sentences. Then there will be some thesis statements which you will be drawing. Then how you're gonna approach that thesis statement, what research methodology you will be doing in one statement. Then how you have structured this article in one statement, sentence. And then what is the likely research outcome. Then there will be body section, that is the chapters of yours. Then you will conclude it. So the conclusion also has to be in this particular format. That first you again, make that particular research question come to the top of that with particular past test that I have researched on that particular area. This was the research question. Then you again tell the reader about your thesis statement, and then you collate your whatever synthesis you have done. So this is the conclusion, and then the important part, the references. So we know that what is the template. So let's see how we will do and how we will fill the pigeonholes of this template. Okay. Now see, yeah, one important thing, that it's the wordplay is there, because the thing is, let's say, let's give this analogy of house and bricks. If you have bricks with you can make the house, you can make the infrastructure, you can make the building, but it requires certain skills. Imagine you want to make a house and you do not have the bricks with you. The same is with certain thought of yours and the words. So words form a quintessential, fundamental base to whatever you are thinking. You can try it if you want right now, currently. Why are you sitting here? What are you doing here? What the faculty is saying? What you will do after this completion of this workshop? What are these? How are you expressing it to yourself in your mind using words? If I tell you to express something without words, can you do that? No. So the research article, you have to express your thoughts and whatever you have done in words. That's why words are very important. The more is your vocabulary, the more it will expand the horizons of your understanding and knowledge. And you will be able to express that particular thought in a better way, in a different way. So that's why words are important. Now, what else is the thing? Why words are also important? Because the thing is, if you go and look at certain journal submission, you will realize that there are certain categories of research articles. Maybe there are leading articles, the special articles, which can comprise of 15,000 to 20,000 words. There are long articles from 8,000 to 15,000 words. So why is it important, sir? Like, why do we have to know? Like, because you have to prepare, like, how much you have to write. You cannot just fly an airplane without knowing where to go. So if you are writing, let's say, an article of 6,000 words or 7,000 words in that bracket, you should be knowing from the beginning that it will take at least 1,000 words for you to write an introduction and conclusion. So remove that from that 6,000 words. Now you are left with 5,000 words. What will you do out of that 5,000 words? Imagine you say that, okay, I will be making 4 chapters, so that is 1,000 words each. So you have already set goals for that particular chapter. Otherwise, imagine for a month or two, you are working on this particular chapter and you have, let's say you have read good 20 resources and come up with just 1,000, or let's say 4,000 words in that particular chapter. Does not make any sense. So that's why before researching, you should be very clear, very focused about what is the word limit you are expecting from your research and which article you are targeting. Now, coming to the important thing, which maybe is very important for you guys, because when Selena approached me as like, sir, we need to know about citations. Citations, we are living in a world of technium, by the way, let me mind you. We are living in modern era. Citations are important. Yes, I know. Referencing is important. But the thing is, that is the ancillary work. That is just the housekeeping thing. And you do not stress yourself with all these big terminologies. OSCLA, Blue Book, APA, ILI. Yes, these are tools to reference. If you want to refer a particular source, then you have to do it according to the standard guidelines. But why? So if you know the pedagogy, the traditional pedagogy, if you look at it, if someone is saying that why citations are required, so the person must be saying that to avoid plagiarism, yes, to give credit to the author, to show that your work is original, to lend credibility to your work. But the thing is, why we are referencing is because you do not, if you look at read these particular things, you will feel like we are doing this particular reference because the thing is, we want to get in line and become eligible according to the submission guidelines. So the submission guidelines is saying you to refer in OSCLA format, in Blue Book format, in APA format. That's why you are doing that. Otherwise, why will you do that? You have researched, okay, you have created this particular piece of work. Why do you want to waste those particular areas on a particular sheet or a particular page? Because the journal is saying that. Now you see that the thing is, if you invest a lot of your time in typing and learning, and if you want me to tell you what all is there in Blue Book and OSCLA, how will you write the author's name, what is there in italics, underline, comma, full stop, it will be a waste of your time as well as mine, because it does not require any application of mine. You read that particular guideline and you will get to know about it. But the point is, now we do not have to do that as well, because there are certain reference managers, there are certain source managers like Zotero, and there are also certain websites. And let me tell you, just a second. If you look at C, so if you can see, can you see the screen now?
Yes, it's visible. We can see.
Okay, okay. So there are certain websites, okay, that can give you the citation instantly without doing anything. You just have to go there. You have to just click on create citation. What do you want to cite? Is it a website? Is it a book? Is it a journal? Let's say if it is a journal. Then it is asking for you to search by title or by the DOI. You can go to Google Scholar, you can use certain database. I will let you know of JSTOR, Heat Online, whatever you want to do, and just click Maybe this is not a journal, maybe this is a website. But let's see, what is it saying? Yeah. So it is giving you a journal of interactive marketing of, if you want to cite it, you just click it. It will ask for your help, maybe it requires continue. And yeah, so these are all the things. You can change it from here, and if not, just complete the citation. And your citation will be ready here. You see, author name is there, name of the article is there, which journal is it? It's there, volume, it's there, page number, DOI, everything is there. You just copy the citation and paste it in footnote. So this is the same with citation machine also. There are a lot of websites. So do not invest your important crucial time in worrying about citation. Rather, you should invest that particular time in extracting certain data from the resource and improving your research. Now the thing is, I will also give you a hands-on experience of Zotero as well. So now the thing is, one important thing is, when will you do this particular referencing? Because if you think maybe there are certain smart people, and to be very honest, I have also done that thing sometimes, because we are also worked up with a good number of projects in the same time. So what we will do is, we will do all the research. We'll write a lot of, like, let's say 6,000, 7,000 words we have written, and we have, after that we are like, okay, now we are done with the work. Now we sit with this thing as to, okay, I have to complete my citation thing in 2 days. That is a disastrous thing to do. Never, never, ever do that. It is seriously a formula for disaster. You, whenever you find a source, whenever you are reading the source, do the citation then and there. If you are getting inspired from that particular source, and if you have written something, cite it then and there. So, okay, what is happening here? Something is happening. Am
I
I
think
audible?
someone raised their hands. Akash, someone.
Um, okay, can I take that after the presentation, because I have a couple of things to complete?
Yes, sir, of course.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
all the Q&A we can do at the end, if that is okay. Mr. Satyadeo, do you want to
Yes,
do
yes.
all the Q&A at the end?
Yeah, yes, 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 yes. We will do it. We will do it later.
Okay,
First,
great. Then all of
complete.
you, if you have any questions, raise your hand now. What you can do
Oh,
is write your questions in the chat box and let it be. We will get back to that.
okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. So the thing is, Zotero does this. If you look at how the Zotero works, if you want to add a website, there is this Google Chrome extension. So if you are researching on particular topic and you have opened it in maybe Chrome and from JSTOR or wherever, you can directly, with a click, you can add that particular source in your specified category in that Zotero, and you can directly from there, you can directly cite it in whatever format you want in your research paper. So that's why one thumb rule, that whenever you are extracting anything from the resource, you have to cite it then and there in your first draft, in your first template. With, imagine you are citing up a entire paragraph. So in that particular paragraph, there will be certain citations in that paper. So you have to cite that also. And we look at it like how we'll be, doing or rephrasing or modifying that particular document later. But you have to keep that citation with you then, because this is, you have to do a lot of things, right? And you are all actively engaged. You have actively engaged your brain in whatever you are doing, so you will forget from where this particular idea you have got. So that's why citation. Now, as you can see, that all footnotes are not citations, because maybe Blue Book and OSCALA is telling you to cite something on a footnote, but APA does not do that. APA does not ask you to cite anything on footnote. So if you are seeing that this footnote is, let's say, the first screenshot which is there is, oh, these many citations are there. No. They have just expressed whatever they have written or explained it in a better in-depth way in the footnote. So footnotes are there for explaining things as well as for citation. If you are going to OSCALA and the book. So tomorrow, if OSCALA makes certain amendments, just to be known, from now onwards, we will not be requiring citations to be done on footnotes. We have to do it just like APA maybe. So you see that is the citation in there in the footnote. Where do you have to cite? After the end of a particular sentence, you have to do the citation. You have to make the footnote and cite it there. So that is the thing. Now coming to sources. So there are certain thumb rules that you should not be incorporating anything which is nonsense. So that is, maybe you will be reading a lot of things, but not everything has to be cited, because I am telling you, I have told you that this is not a newspaper article. This is a research article, and research article requires authentic sources. What are these authentic sources? The authentic sources are good journals, which you will find in database of JSTOR, Cruel, Springer, Oxford, Westlaw, EPW. Keen Online, why I have excluded it, because the thing is, now a lot of articles and journals are being indexed in Online. So you have to be very cautious and skeptical about which article you are choosing, who is the author, which journal is it. If you are taking sources from Online, be careful. Now, what to do with all these sources, because these are 35-40 pages article, and if I go and read it from top to bottom, it will take me good 1 month to read 4 or 5 articles. So what you will do is, you will go through that particular article, skim through that article, only just focus on the paragraphs which have more than 3 citations. Other citations are just the author's opinion. And in India, no one cares about author's opinion. If you look at Chinese journals, there they care about author's opinion and they give emphasis to that. But in India, I have already told you that you are not in a position to give opinion on certain things. So if you're writing paragraphs and paragraphs in your words, telling certain things, opining on this and that, no, it will not be published. So that's why when you are reading a source, you just go through it, how many citations are there. The first task will be how many citations are there. If there are good 50 citations, you check for, okay, the citations are good, coming from relevant sources, authentic sources, then that source is qualified to be read by you, to be incorporated in your research article. Otherwise, no, not read it. So this is in terms of sources. Now, how will you extract anything from the source? So not the entire article has to be read. You know that whatever you have to take from that particular. So you just look at the headings, look at the subheadings, and you pick certain paragraphs which have more than 3 citations, and you directly copy paste that. Because when you are doing, because we will see what is the secret recipe of coming up with a good research article at the end of the presentation. So we'll see that, the thing is, what is our goal? Our goal is to create certain theoretical argument, right? Certain new frame of reference. So for that, if you are, going through long passage without referencing, it does not make any sense. They are useless. Do not stumble your head and do not stick to that. Just skim through it, important things, important headings, important paragraphs with a lot of citations, just take that source from that particular article. Now, if you look at the thing as to when reading a source from the first time, you have to create certain mark, and I will tell you how does that happen. Well, let me show it. Okay, just wait. Okay, I will show it to you how you create a mark. You see. Is it okay? It's not visible now. Yes. I cannot share it here. To open it with, just give me. Yes. Okay. So here, can you see that? Is it visible? Can you see?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. This is a source, this is an article from Lawrence Lessig. It is of 36 pages. Okay. So when I was dealing with my dissertation, by the way, I have worked on artificial womb, and I have traced what are the ethical and legal complexities in bringing that thought technology in Indian landscape. Artificial womb is basically, developing a fetus in an outside facility, and I have traced the surrogacy laws of our country, the medical termination of pregnancy laws, how it will this technology will challenge all these laws, and whether the society should accept this technology or not. And when I started with this venture, I was very skeptical because wherever I go, to whom I will discuss my this particular research topic, there is no such technology in India. So what's the point of doing this research? And boasting you, but I got the highest accolade for that particular research in the entire group of postgraduate students who were doing LLM from NUJS. So that is the thing. That's why it's very important. That's why I told you that you have to have courage. Whenever you feel like this particular topic demands a certain inquiry from your side, go ahead with it and take suggestions from people, but do not let them, stop you from doing that particular research. So you see how I have engaged with this particular source. So I have made certain highlighted certain areas to what is there. I have made certain comments as to okay, what is the law and how this will create a particular architecture. This is a very good thing. So that I got a lot of appreciation from this particular addition to my research paper. So I have said that how a human behavior is regulated by law, and this is the Lawrence Lessig has given this code as to human behavior is regulated by law, it is regulated by media, it is regulated by norm, it is regulated by code, and you can add this to whatever research you are doing. Because let me give you an example which you can maybe relate, because you see it everywhere. If I give you the example of smoking, you see how smoking is regulated by law. Smoking is a human behavior, right? You smoke particular cigarette, So how it is regulated by law? It is regulated by law because minors are not allowed to smoke. No one's gonna give them the cigarettes. No, they cannot buy it. You cannot smoke in public spaces. That is the law regulating the smoking. Now, how the norms, the societal norms, regulate this your behavior of cigarette smoking? So you have heard it from your elders, and do not smoke. It is not good for your vital organs of your body. How the market regulates smoking, by the way? You see, the market regulates smoking by the government is taxing the raw material, that is tobacco. Then it is also taxing the furnished product, that is the cigarette. So it is not affordable. It is costing you maybe whatever 20, 30, 40 rupees. And you'll think how the code is regulating this behavior of smoking cigarettes. So you must have heard you know about ENDS. So it started from United States. It is electronic nicotine delivery system, just like you have in our country. What is it called? You have it. You have vapes. You have, and also in COVID time, this Patanjali came up with herbal cigarettes. So if you change the architecture or infrastructure of that particular thing, replace tobacco with something else, something maybe good for your health, then the law will change, and your behavior of smoking something will change. And the law also regulates market norms and code. So this is a very good. I stumble upon this thing, and it has been given to us by our beloved professor from your state. He has a scholar from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Professor Sukhendu Samajdar. So he has given us all these sources. So I took a good use of it, and that has helped me a lot. So whenever you are reading any source, just look at it, just make your mark there, so that the next time you come to this, you know what to pick, what not to pick. Because maybe you are reading it sitting in your balcony, or maybe in a park, and you're reading a good source, and tomorrow after that you will go and add it to your template. So that's how you deal with. Also, I will show you one more. Yeah. So this is by University of Chicago Law School, cyberspace and the law force. You can create certain risk of multidisciplinary dialecticism, cross-sterilization of ideas. I put a Bojack there, by the way. You have to, do all these things. You have to whatever, clicks you, whatever you are comfortable with. So these are highlights you have to do in that resource, whatever you are reading, whatever you're looking forward to incorporate. Yeah, coming back to our presentation. Is it visible, the slide?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, yeah. Now, end of the workshop, that is the secret sauce. What will you do if today I will tell you that you have to research and write an article, research article? What will you do? You will start with title? No, definitely not. You will go and look for your research domain, whatever interests you. Maybe so recently this particular heinous murder and rape case is going on, RJ medical case. There's a lot of hue and cry, there's a lot of protests. They have make the government, on their toes. The thing is, what you can bring to this particular inquiry of maybe criminal law, how maybe what laws do we have for certain offenses against the body? Criminal laws have been reformed right now. Are they efficient enough? What all jurisdiction, different parts of the globe, maybe in global north and global south, how they are dealing with this? So you can do a comparative analysis. You can do a lot of things. Thing is, the first thing you will do is once your research area is fixed. We'll go and look for certain good sources. You will collect that and you start copy paste the important extracts from that resource. So imagine if you are writing a 6,000 word article, you have to copy at least 8,000 to 9,000 words from there. Just copy paste. Do not think of anything. Feel that this is important. Just take it in your template. Generally, we these blocks are there in our brain. Okay, no, this is not. We cannot copy. Why we cannot copy? No, we cannot use technological tools. We cannot use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is your best assistant when you are doing that research. You tell him something, you tell the ChatGPT will bring that thing to you. Who is telling you to not to use ChatGPT? We have to use ChatGPT. We have to use other tools. Whatever is there, whatever best of the technological tools is there to help us, to assist us in our academic writing, we have to use that. But do not blindly follow it. Whatever ChatGPT is giving to you, just go for check for the authenticity of it, check for the validity of it, and then take it. Put your humanoid brain in there. So the thing is, what you will do is you will collect all this 7,000, 8,000 words. You know that okay, you are going to work 5,000 words out of it. So what will you do? You will ensure that all the citations has to be there. Do not just copy paste the paragraph. You have to cite it from which source you have taken it. All the sources which are there in that particular source, you just copy it. Now the thing is, now you sit with that particular template. Now you have good. What is that? Someone is messaging something.
No, I think they have questions.
Okay, okay,
We can address it later.
okay. Now the thing is, so you have this particular good number of words in your first draft, first template, which is extracted from the resources. Now you take a printout of it. You sit and see, okay, what is there. Now you feel that okay, this paragraph should not be here. So you just make a coherence. You put the paragraph over above. For the first paragraph, this is the second paragraph. Okay, this line is not required. Cut it down. This there it has to be something like that. And you're sitting with that print in front of you, and maybe you have your particular thoughts and your synthesis, whatever you have observed in the society, you add it. You add to that. Okay, in front of this paragraph, I will write this. Just write it. Then what will you do is you go and pick up certain 20, 30 words from there. Okay, these are the certain terminologies maybe which needs definition. You go that, just highlight that and then go look for the better definition and put it in footnotes. Then you give this or the draft to Grammarly. What I'm saying, give this draft to Grammarly. Do not give the command of autocorrection. No. Just ask Grammarly, what do you feel about this draft? As to, are there any corrections, grammatical mistakes, this and that? And the Grammarly will give you of like say 100 and 1,000 suggestions. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, that is wrong. Do not accept it blindly. You just see whether what Grammarly is saying is right or not. Like, if it is not required, just leave it. Humans are prone to do mistakes. If everything is picture perfect, we will know that you have not written it. It's been written by some bot. And you cannot win with the bot in their game. Humans are poetic, humans are poets. We can do certain mistakes. Maybe that mistake can bring the best sentence. You never know. So give that thing to Grammarly, check for the mistakes. Then what will you do? Then print the draft again. Then go to a park, maybe in a balcony, sit with a good cup of coffee. Then you read it. You read it like maybe the chief editor of a journal, and you think that okay, now I have this task of reviewing this particular article, and this has come to me. And then you will find at least good 60, 70 mistakes in there. No, this should not be like that. This should not be this, that. Then you again highlight that. Again look for your comments. Because we have gone through our draft for let's say 4, 5 times for getting it published. So you have to do that by yourself at least 3 times. So then your draft will be complete, all the body will be complete. Now you write the conclusion. And then from that particular, because you will write in the light of that significance, the research paper critically investigates and this and that. So there is, yes, now the thing is, that is what is important is, now you have this piece of work with you. Now it has to have certain relevance and significance. You just go to a good newspaper, let's say the Hindu, and just type keywords of this particular your area. That will give you the most recent news on that particular. That has created the significance. And I've already told you that introduction has to start with the significance. So we'll start from, because of this particular event which is happening in the society, I am doing this investigating into this particular research area. You have got the significance. And definitely, it's not that it has to be that near to 1 month back. It can be in an year. So if you're writing a research article starting from 2024, and whatever is happening maybe in January 2024 is also significant. So you have the first line of your introduction, that why any reader or any journal will publish a research article because it is significant. Then what will you do? You you skip the dense descriptive sections that generate research questions and avoid including the research methodology in detail. So the introduction, okay, the significance has already been written. So you research questions and all these things, you just leave it to that. Just make a full reading of your whatever you have completed, whatever you have created. Then you write the certain, okay, this is the research gap. This is what I have written. So maybe I'm solving these research questions. So okay, you put it, okay, these are the research questions. This is the research gap. This is the significance. Then this was the thesis. You know of your synthesis, what you have done. You can very easily, it's discernible from, if you read like 20 pages of yours, you have worked for a good 2-3 months. So you write the synthesis, you close it. Now you print the particular introduction and you say that whether that introduction is ticking all the checkboxes which I have told you. Now, if it is, it is giving you certain clarity, if it is that elegant, if it needs modification, you do it. Now, what will you do? What is left? Just be careful. We have not finalized the title. Okay, the title still has to be finalized. You have written conclusion. You condense your particular conclusion of 500 words into 250 words. That will give you the abstract. Ask ChatGPT to do that. Look at it, that whether ChatGPT is good or not. Then add your thing. As to no, this is the ChatGPT is not given me, but certain inspiration. Okay, this could be have been written in that way. So you get inspired with that and read 250 words in abstract. And now at last, certain keywords you pick from your particular article, you put it in keywords. It has to be very, just like I'm writing on artificial home, I will be, just letting them know as to what all areas I have worked in. So those keywords you put, and at the end, you just look for a good title for whatever you have created. So that it should not start with the title, it should end with the title. And yes, references are important. You just go through all the references again. If you feel that it requires certain scrutiny, just take that, download that particular blue book. Just look for 2-3 citations, because this is an algorithm. Once it has generated one citation, all the other citations will be generated in the same manner. So if one citation is good, you are good to go for the rest of it. So that is how you will be completing your research work. Okay. So yeah, that is from my side. And yes, one more thing is left. I will just quickly, I'm not sure whether I can show you in my laptop how to use Zotero, but if you can see, just a second. Okay, this is the Google Scholar. Maybe I will search for anything. Okay, what's happening with AI in the new world? There are a lot of articles. Let's open this one. Okay, this one. Journal of American Academy of Religion. I cannot, I don't know why I cannot show you, because this software which has been downloaded in my laptop. So I wanted to show you how the interface of Zotero looks like, but I think I can't do that. Okay, so the thing is with Zotero, what is the Google Chrome extension it shows here. So if it is you are reading a newspaper article, okay, you can't see. Oh, just a second. Sorry. Now I can see.
It's visible.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, so the thing is, if you download the Chrome extension of Zotero connector, if you are reading a newspaper article icon will be here. You just have to click it, and then the entire thing will be there in your Zotero application. And I can't show you the software. I don't know, for some reasons it is lagging. But yes, okay, we can keep it for later, maybe because it's not working right now. Anyways, yeah. So that is all from my side. I feel that now you are at better positioning to write a research article, research on a particular area, and I feel that maybe in a month or two, some of you, I do not want that all of you will not be writing a research article, but if I will be able to convert at least 20, 30 of you to enter into this daunting task, I am telling you, it is like at the end you will be satisfied. That is what I do. And if you need any help from my side in terms of any suggestion, any review, source, if you do not have access to JSC, let me know. I will give you the access. Just give your names to Selena. I will, drop my mail ID, institutional ID, and everything with the contact number if you want. And yes, we can get in touch. So that is all from my side. Also, I have to catch a flight because Diwali is coming. I have to go back to my home. But yeah, that is the thing. I can take a few questions. Rest we can take it. I can write the answers, and Selena will get to you with the answers. No issues with that. Yes, Selena, up to you.
Whoever has questions, they can drop it in the chat box. And then, sir, you are free to
Yeah.
look to the questions, whichever you want to answer from
Okay.
amongst the host of questions that people are waiting to
Yes.
ask.
Okay.
You can go ahead with the questions then. Whoever has questions, please write it in the chat box.
Okay, this is important. If you have any questions, drop it here. Sir, I am outside of my home due to some emergency reason. Can I close my camera? Yes, you can do that. I do not have any issues with that. Please turn on. Where are the questions? I can see any questions here. I can't see any questions here.
So I guess
Hello.
Oh, okay. Ruchi has raised a hand.
Okay.
Okay, Ruchi, go ahead. Please ask your
Yeah.
question.
Hello. Thank you, Sarina. Thank you,
Mm.
sir, for this session. Basically, my question to you was you talked about ChatGPT and using it for your writing. And I just wanted to ask that
Yes.
as a writer, as a research writer, does it
Mhm.
not kind of, dilute your writing? And if yes, how do you deal with it?
Yeah. Okay. Whether it will dilute your writing. So writing and researching are two different things. Okay. We have this chat GPT. You ask him, there are certain prompts which you have to use. So if you want to look for certain, imagine there is this paper, you have one paper and you want certain papers which are connected to that particular research domain. How will you do that? You can, as a human, you will go to JSTOR, which has, let's say, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 articles in there, and you will just scroll it down just to know, okay, this paper is important, that way I will know. There is this particular website, Connected Papers. The moment you put your paper in that connected paper, that will give you a lot of interconnected papers in that regard. Coming to your question of ChatGPT, you can ask that the same question to ChatGPT as well. Okay, I'm working on this particular article, this is a particular paragraph which I got. Just write everything that he is the author, this and that. Can you give me the more of the papers on this particular domain of this particular author of maybe let's say Harvard Law Journal? Let's test it. No, if it is there to help you, let's test it. Whether it will dilute your writing. Generally what happens is you are sitting with a particular, let's say you are stuck on paragraph number 5 and you do not know what to write, and then you think that okay, let's take the help of ChatGPT, let him write something for me. Then what ChatGPT will do? ChatGPT will use the words like meticulous, this and that, and the moment it comes to us, when we read that paragraph, we will easily gauge that okay, this ChatGPT has written. So if you are using ChatGPT to replace if you are delegating the important work to ChatGPT, definitely it will dilute your writing, and it will reduce maybe the probability of your paper getting published. So you cannot do that. And why? Have you ever thought, like, before ChatGPT comes to India, how many authors were using this word meticulous? No. From where it comes from? Because all the data has been fed in ChatGPT, the model, large language model, it is being fed in Kenya. So in Kenya, this particular word meticulous is used, and that's why now we are using word meticulous. So ChatGPT has to be used in such a way that will enhance your writing, that will enhance your research. If you use it in a wrong way, that is for every technology. Technology can be used in maybe the right way and disastrous way. So do not delegate the task of writing to ChatGPT. Okay? Does that
Uh,
answer your question, Ruchi?
it does. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shudipta
Yeah.
has raised her hand. Please go ahead, unmute
Mhm.
yourself and ask the question.
Good evening, sir. Actually, I have some query regarding the differences
Okay.
between the Blue Book,
Mhm.
APA,
Mhm.
and Oscolo citation styles, and
Yes.
when each of this is used.
Okay. So it all depends on the journal which you are doing. And thank you for the question, because the thing is, imagine you are writing a research paper and you think that okay, a lot of journals are asking for Blue Book, but there are a lot of journals who are asking for Oscilla. So beforehand you do not know now. And imagine you have write a research paper with Blue Book citations, you have sent it to let's say HPNLU, and after one point of time, after investing like good 6-7 months, you will realize that they have rejected the research paper. They can no. They say okay, this we will not publish, not according to our standards. Then you will send it to somewhere else, and imagine there they are asking for Oscilla citations. Now you have done it in Blue Book citation. What will you do? You'll spend 1 month to change the citations again. That's why Zotero comes into being. That Zotero, you have all the sources in one particular category. If you want Blue Book citations, it will give you all the Blue Book citations. Delete all the citations if you want Oscilla, it will give you Oscilla. The major difference, see, there are not major differences. There are certain minor differences. As Blue Book, they are saying Supra, Oscilla, it is, something in italics, something is underlined. How will you do the link? And how will, if you are citing newspaper, if you are citing report, a small minor, this differences. But yes, Blue Book and Oscilla and APA, the major differences. APA, you have to do it in the paragraph. It should not be in footnote. But Oscilla and Blue Book has to be in the footnote. That is it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so yeah, I'll take one last
Uh,
question. Otherwise, I will
Anik-
miss my topic. But yeah,
Aniket Soor has some question. He's
okay.
asking
Uh,
if plagiarism check is used. So if I cite all the references, does it not count in the
yeah,
plagiarism check?
okay. So if you, that's why I have said that, you have to cite that particular thing. So you imagine you have extracted the entire paragraph from a particular source. You do not, keep it that way. You read that particular paragraph, you rephrase it, you paraphrase that particular paragraph according to your way. Every one of us has different way to express that. So that author, so let's say there is this one thing, innovation trilemma. Okay, if any innovation is coming into any jurisdiction, there is this particular triangle, and there are three vertices of the triangle. So the government cannot have the innovation, cannot promote the innovation, and at the same time have stringent laws in place and the government intervention. These three things cannot be done at one go. It can be only two of them can be done. So imagine if you have stringent laws, then promoting innovation will be thrown out of the window. Now, will be thrown out of the window, no one is gonna write and express it in this way. But if I want to express innovation trilemma in my paper in one paragraph, I will cite the author who has developed this concept of innovation trilemma from that particular paper, and I will write it according to my words. So definitely you do not have to just cut, copy, paste and with all the citation and send it to the journal. No, you have to paraphrase it. And the thing is, there is this one important thing which I don't know whether you are being confronted with, that is now they are looking at AI, and it will get 30%, 40% AI, 20% AI. The point is, if you write like AI, because we are being influenced by AI, like we are using these kind of words, we are framing our sentences like an AI. So even if you are not generating it from AI, but it will look like AI, because the Turnitin will say, okay, this is the AI generated. But I will say, no, maybe Deepti has generated or Ritika has generated. It's like their authentic work, but it looks like AI has generated it. So that's why have that humanoid touch in your research article. That is very important. And that is also adding to the question which someone has asked us to, whether it is diluting the art of writing research. Yes, it is. But you have to, look at foray into different unconventional ways, which ChatGPT cannot write. Yes. So footnotes, when you are looking at Turnitin, footnotes are excluded. So if you are citing in footnote, it will not be come under plagiarism. Okay.
Sir, I don't think you have time to take any more questions. I will mail
Yes,
you all the questions that we will get. But
I would love
before
to.
okay, but before you leave, I would request
Mhm.
everyone to switch on their cameras so that we can take a group photo through our
Oh,
screens. Yes.
oh, that's new.
Everyone, please switch on your cameras so that we can take a picture. Sanjeevani, can you take a picture? Ridhikamani and Sanjeevani.
Just a second, I will turn this. Okay. Yeah. Let me know when you are done, because this is very awkward and I do not know.
Is it done? Please let me know. Sanjeevani, is
Yeah,
it done? Oh,
it's
great,
done.
Is it
great,
done?
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Selena, for having me, and also thank you so much for attending this workshop in this number. Now, Selena, you should not be this skeptical about the turnout. No, we can have these kind of
We
then
can.
these many
If you are
students.
on board, I would like to have this kind of sessions like once every 2 months. I think our students would benefit a lot.
Yes, definitely. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. And I want a research article to be published in 2025. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you so much. Okay. Happy Diwali to you
Happy
all.
Diwali, sir.
Yeah.
Happy Diwali.
Safe
Yes.
journey back
Happy
home.
Diwali, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay, good night.
Good night.
Meanwhile, to all the
Thank you
participants,
everyone for
yes,
joining. Thank you all of you for joining and making this a success. I'm so proud of all of you. And the turnout was great, guys. But if you have any questions for the time constraint you could not ask, mail us in the particular mail ID, the official JSC mail ID. We will get back to you with the answers. I will personally mail the speaker with your questions. Yes, Riddhi.
I think rather than mailing the questions, it will be a little, tough for us to make a list out of them. I think it would be better if you leave your questions in the interface group only. We'll make a list and we'll send it to. So, okay. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the interface group and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible.
Do that, guys. I hope you had a great session and you guys learned a lot, because I have personally learned a lot. I can say that even in my fifth year. I hope this really, really helps. And I will go ahead and say this. It's not a bragging. When I was in first year, we never had all these sessions. So in my fifth year, I'm getting to know what Zotero is and how to use a website to get your citation checked. Otherwise, I used to do it manually till date. So write more, get it published with JSC. You don't need any money. We don't charge any money to get it published. JSC publishes a lot of articles. Check Medium, that is our website where we publish so many articles. Please, all your seniors and industry professionals, they publish it there. Check it out, JSC website. We have a lot of articles. If you are, somebody asked in the question where to, as a newbie, where to publish their article. If you are a little skeptical being a newbie and you're afraid, or if you think that it will be difficult, JSC is your home publication uh, site. Please never forget that your college is offering you publication for free. Rather than looking for outside, if you're publishing for the first time, please come to JSC. We will publish your articles. We will help you. Please do that. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Happy Diwali and good night.
Happy Diwali. Good night, guys.